Hi people, Newbie back again. Pretty quick this time, just did a video yesterday. I've doing something a little different again. You know, the video I posted yesterday was basically about family. Well, today's video is also a little different. I've started tearing the track apart. I'll show you a little bit of that in a minute. But to go to my double track mainline all the way around. But my buddy Joe, who lives nearby, and I think I mentioned him sometime. I bought some box cars from him. Came into contact with him on Facebook Marketplace and bought some box cars. And really nice guy. And Joe has some engines in his stash of many and all kinds of different gauges too. I mean, G scale, O scale, H, O, N. I said G, not Z. I didn't see any Z, but anyway. So Joe's got a bunch of different scales that, you know, he's just a collector. But anyway, so I was over at Joe's house today. Actually, he called me and he says, "Hey," he said, "You want to come over?" He said, "I've got some more cars that I'll give you if you'll check out some of my engines, some of his N-scale engines that he doesn't know if they work or not." And so they're DC, not DCC, but that's no problem. Well, I'll show you. So this video is basically dedicated to checking out Joe's engines to see if they work. It's a double track main line. You see, we took out there was a turnout right in this area back here. We took that out. We've got double track coming down through here. We put a double crossover in there, and we've got track laid out to make this curve here around behind the well, actually in front of the horse farm, and that looks like that's going to work out okay. And right now we're trying to decide what to do right here in this area. This has always been somewhat of a problem area because these turnouts, the problem I have is that this starts the grade up, and there's not enough, the grade doesn't start soon enough. This is too high for the grade here. It's basically, this is the end of the yard. And so I have to figure out something to do here. What I'm thinking about doing is actually starting the grade here and come up and then take this track back down around there. So basically there'll be a little hump in this track here in order to make this work with the grading in this area right here. I don't know. The other thing I was playing with, as you see, I've got this switch laying here. I was playing with going with the Kato switch here and seeing if I couldn't make that work. I'm also considering putting a double crossover in here. If I can make a double crossover fit here, then I do away with these two turnouts, of course, and then that would also do away with this turnout, or these two turnouts here, which I've required so that I can go from this track coming this way into the yard, or vice versa, coming off of the reverse loop here to get out onto the main line. But anyway, so if I can make a double crossover work here, then that eliminates these four turnouts. And but the problem, of course, is getting the double crossover in and getting it to end right here so I can still get into the yard. So the double crossover would be these two tracks, and then of course this curve is going to be shifted because the double crossover is quite long, and I don't know if that'll work. I don't even know if it's worth doing it, but that's where we're coming from. You see, I've got this track here just laid out alongside, and I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen there, but that's where we are. You see, I started cutting out in here. I can take that off too. That will give me a little more room. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out what to do. I really don't want to take that bridge out. I'm trying to determine if I have enough, if I can cut back enough under there to get the train through without removing the bridge. That's kind of what I'd like to do if I can. I like the way that bridge worked out. I'd like to leave it, but you see, I have to cut out underneath it here, and I'm not sure how secure it's going to be after I do that. Also, we're going to have to cut around here, of course, to be able to get another track in here. So a lot of modification is going to happen in this area here. So you see, I've taken out the turnout that was in here that basically ended this double track section. I put the double crossover in here for now, and then of course this track would continue on around and go under the bridge over there. But as I mentioned before, I might move this double crossover over there to the end of the yard where it comes out of that other curve. I don't know. If I do that, then what I would do is actually use 4 turnouts to do the same function as a double crossover in this area here, so that I can flip back and forth between these 2 tracks in this area here. The other thing I'd like to do that I'm not sure how to do it, I'd like to be able to bring trains out of the station area and get them straight onto the main line, and vice versa if I'm coming this way, to have a train go into the station area, which would take a double crossover in this area somewhere. I don't know. I'm playing with all kinds of stuff there. Also, up in the mountain area, I've laid a curve in here, and this easement has wires attached to it, and I may use them because I've got a wiring connection in here somewhere. But the idea here is that there's enough space in here for double track, so I don't have to do anything with this right here. It'll work right there. So all the way up to right before I make this turn into the tunnel portal, of course that will have to be cut out in there. But for the most part, that's okay double track. This radius of these curves work out just about right to what's there. So of course I would go with the double portal there. Also up here, the radius of these curves work out to be about the same too. So I think it'll work. But that's pretty much just a quick update of where we are today. Okay, so here's my basic test setup. I've got all my wires come in here to my block sections, and so what I've done is my main feed for my DCC came into these 2 terminals here, and so what I've done is I've just taken those 2 terminals loose, and I've got this Kato power pack, and basically just ran the 2 wires from the Kato into the 2 wires, or the 2 terminals where I had the DCC power, and of course turn this thing on, and we should be ready to go. So the first engine I want to test that I've got here, I've got this, it's probably an F3 Pennsylvania unit, And I'm going to be testing on my inside loop here. And, oops, I guess I got the power on. And kind of took the body just a little loose, because sometimes I've had issues with the bodies dragging. It's running, but it's pretty noisy, and it's not running very well. Let me take the body off. A lot of vibration in there. Run it a little forward and back. I see one of the supports for that holds the trucks in is coming out, but so it's obvious that this unit has not been run in a long time, huh? Oh, I think it just pulled out. Put the body back on to see if it'll hold that. Put the coupler in first. I get the distinct impression that maybe the gearing's slipping, but yeah, it works. It runs. So this apparently was an Amtrak. Just basically looking at that lettering right, or the striping there. Well, it runs, but it also appears that it hasn't run a long time and is running very slow. I've got here I've got it all the way up full now. And I think that one runs pretty well. It needs to be run in, of course. Next we have like a Burlington Northern. It lights up. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. Turn it around. Don't seem to have any response on this one. Take the body off. The engine's free to spin. The motor's free to spin. Up, there we go. Let's go the other direction. Whoa. Wow, that one runs good. It was working. That one we'll have to say worked great for a minute, then quit. I don't know, but it ran very well. Okay, see what else we got. Here's another Burlington Northern. Appears to be a F8 or 9. Nothing. Wow, that's a different design. Put my glasses on so I can see what that is. It's an Atlas. Can't see the motor in it. Doesn't appear to be lighted. appear to have voltage up to the board. Voltage to the motor. But no joy. Next we have a little Santa Fe unit. Huh? Appears to work. I would say that one's a runner. And that one's in the postage stamp trains box. And we have another Santa Fe. Bright chrome. It's wanting to run. Snap the body off. And that's a runner. Yeah, there's a little copper arm that comes from the truck and has to make contact with a little brass pad underneath there, and it was not making good contact. And so I just took it apart and bent that back up to where it makes good contact with that brass pad, and now she's working fine. We can put the body back on that one now. Yeah, that one works good. Okay, now we have one other one. This is a body only, or I'm sorry, a chassis only. Apparently the body was taken off to be detailed, and never returned. Seems to work fine in the forward direction, but not in reverse. So, there we have it. So there you go, Joe. That's it for today. We've got a lot of stuff going on in the train room, as you can see, and thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, hit that little button down in the corner, and yeah. Anyway, and like, share, comment. By the way, I got a comment from somebody that that suggested maybe up in the mountains to just have one, just leave the single track as it comes out of the tunnels and goes across the bridge, and bring the other track inside the mountain. I kind of like that idea. That would mean I wouldn't have to do a thing with changing my mountain scenery as I've got it right now. But I'm struggling as to how I could get that other track wound around and come down and come out where it would have to come out over here. So thanks for the comment. I mean, it really got me to thinking, and I was seriously, I like the idea. But I just don't think I can make that work. So, but anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time when we'll see what's going to happen.